Hi, this is Kath. Welcome to Q&A Tuesday. Today, I don't really have a question as such, more some advice based on an observation that I've made that could hopefully help you if you're struggling to make the changes necessary to lose weight and improve your health. Now, I have a lot of conversations with people about health-related issues, and many of the conversations revolve around the difficulty that people seem to have in adopting and maintaining optimal habits. So eating right, exercising, going to bed on time, that sort of thing. And I'm fairly sure that one of the reasons that this is so difficult for many people is because they assume that the change will be hard, and so they talk a lot about how challenging it is, and expecting something to be difficult and acting as if it is difficult, and then talking about that difficulty can make that difficulty a reality. And if something genuinely is difficult because there's some addictive component to it, focusing a lot on that sort of thinking can make it more difficult than it needs to be. But there's another reason that people are having these challenges, which I think is just as important, and that is that many people treat diet and lifestyle change entirely differently than they treat most other issues in their lives. And I had a conversation recently with a client, and I was listening to them talk about their struggles to make themselves go to the gym and eat the right foods and kind of make other decisions that lead to improved health. And I had this epiphany while they were talking. This person's internal dialogue included the option to not go to the gym, to not drink enough water, and to not choose health promoting foods. And I know this client fairly well, and I know that they're a person of very high integrity. So the problem became quite obvious to me that this person has fixed rules for making decisions in areas of their life, such as those that involve ethics, while the rules governing other areas like diet and lifestyle choices aren't really fixed at all. There's too much wiggle room when it comes to making decisions about diet and exercise. And so, in order to make that point to them, I asked them if they stole money at their place of employment. And they were really shocked at that question, and they answered with a resounding no. And then I asked, well, why not? And that was kind of followed by a very adamant response that went something like this. They said, it's against the law, it would be disrespecting my co-workers, it would be a violation of trust, and then it ended with the statement that it's just wrong. And then I asked them, well, do you ever hold money in your hands at work and think about what you could do with it if you did take it? And again, they kind of responded as if I was a bit crazy. They said absolutely not, that it's ridiculous, it's a ridiculous thing to do. And so my client is an ethical person who has fixed rules when it comes to money and stealing. They do not steal. There are no exceptions to this rule, and they don't even allow themselves to consider or think about what they would do with money that's not theirs. There's no internal dialogue about other options with regard to the issue of money and stealing. So, i.e., there's no wiggle room at all. And on the other hand, my client's internal dialogue about diet and lifestyle allows for a lot of wiggle room. There are no fixed rules about how to take care of themselves or choices that are clearly right and wrong ethically. So when it's time to eat or exercise or kind of pay attention to anything else regarding personal health and food, there's often an internal debate. And allowing this to take place not only leads to bad choices because there are no fixed rules, but it's also exhausting to invest so much effort in making these recurring decisions day after day. You know, if you think that a person eats at least 3 times a day and maybe exercises 5 times a week, well, this alone would lead to probably more than 1,355 deliberations in just 1 year. And so it's no wonder that people get tired of working on health improvement. You know, I would be tired of it too if I had this mental chatter going on almost every day about eating and exercise. So here's my proposal to people who struggle with this issue. Have a conversation with yourself about the rules concerning how you take care of yourself. Ask yourself if your body and your health are worthy of that same respect that you have towards things like other people's money. Educate yourself regarding the ethical and the environmental issues around animal-based food, and ask yourself if causing unnecessary harm and death to non-human animals and causing unnecessary environmental degradation, ask if that's really in line with your value system. In other words, eliminate the wiggle room and develop some fixed rules about what you will and will not do when it comes time to eat, exercise, and go to bed on time, drink enough water. You know, draw those lines in the sand really firmly and then follow through. And when you find yourself beginning a lengthy deliberation with yourself about whether or not to go to yoga or to eat rice and vegetables instead of cheese pizza, remind yourself that this matter was already decided, and then just do the right thing. And I know it sounds too simple, but it really is that simple. The only thing that can make it difficult is your insistence on continuing the internal dialogue that leaves the door open to making those poor choices. You know, some things really can be made better by just making a decision to shift your thinking, making the decision ahead of time, and making sure that that decision is in line with your own deeper values for a start, but also, I guess, your highest good. And rely on that decision that's already been made in your day-to-day decisions regarding food, that decision is already made. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to make a decision every time you eat something. So that's Q&A Tuesday today, and I hope that's been helpful for you. And go out and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.